The structural of real estate is very different when we begin, but that's how you have to think, and what we have thought out. How do we design more future-proof real estate? What does that mean? It actually means we have to think beyond what the market is offering, but understand the economic, the supply and demand, the absorption rate as well within each component. So when we think of that in 2019, when COVID started to come in early 2020, we did have to rethink and repivot. We could not project at that time that we would not know the foreign demand will come in by when. We were thinking that because Thailand, being tourism, being foreign direct investment, it was the big part of the growth of the economy, and that's gone.
I want to take a step back now, and I hate to talk about possible concerns and uncertainties because you are one of the biggest real estate developers in Thailand, but we are seeing stories at least of there being a glut or oversupply in commercial office space, perhaps a decline also in residential property sales, especially in the lower end of it. When you look at all of these trends, is that making you more cautious and conservative when you pursue real estate projects, given the fact that we've seen a lot of these uncertainties? And do you think that this uncertainty will resolve itself in the next 3 to 5 years, maybe?
The last 10 years very different than the next 10 years. And in my view, real estate has been a lot built into with a lot more complexities and challenge, high interest rates, decoupling in global economies, looking at definitely slower growth than what we've seen before. We're looking at cap rate drive everything, and so consumer also become exactly as you said, not fully recover, the mass consumer, but there's always a view of opportunistic part about who we are, because in real estate, it's about rising through the cycle. It's about being cash flow defensive. And in our view, we've been rising through cycle in Thailand, at least through the group's experience. I get a chance to be in it for the last 2 cycles. The group been through in the last 50 years. We also see how we rise through each difficult time. But because the fundamental have to be there first, being cash flow defensive, being more cautious about supply demand in what we see. And as you talk about commercial office, people may talk about oversupply, but if you lens through the full supply of office is about 15 million square meters. You talk about core CBD and grade A office. Actually, you talk about the volume of only about 2.5 million square meters. And so just in view, the segment that's still looking at growth and looking at pivoting into the right space, the right future of work, actually they're looking at the better quality of office space, because you need efficiency, if people would come to office, it's a lot more different than being a desk job. It's being in a collaborative space.
Final question, sir, because we know that you're not just a big player in Thailand, you have a global footprint. Where else in the world are you excited or seeing opportunities that perhaps are exciting Frasers Property at the moment?
You cannot avoid the world now seeing complexities. Our strength is actually the experience where we are consider 3 different continents in our footprint of foundation, but we are in 4 continents in our operation. We actually see what we do today relevant to the global market, and the focus of growth is definitely in Southeast Asia, the connected ASEAN, the capital market that looking at us. The way we have grown the group as Frasers Property is actually not only beyond border, but beyond the lens of the success in partnerships. And as we manage the 48.5 billion asset, actually about half is our balance sheet, another half is capital partners that we work with, like-minded, the asset class that we do, and they feel we deliver the core competency of not only being an investor, being a developer and operator as well in the asset that we are. So the value chain allow us to grow well and will contribute well in Southeast Asia in the next decade.